So hello friends, welcome to my new video. So today in this video, I'm going to discuss with you all about lacrimal drainage system. Okay, so let's start. So before going to the brief discussion on the lacrimal drainage system, let us know that what is lacrimal drainage system. Before that, we need to know that what is a system. So a system is a set of things working together as a part of a mechanism. It means a set of principles or procedure according to which something is done. Okay, so lacrimal drainage system means tear is producing or tear is secreted from the lacrimal gland, and it flow over the ocular surface and drain to different parts. Okay, now the procedure which tear follow to drain out is called as lacrimal drainage system. So what is tear? So tear is a drop of salty water that produces from the lacrimal gland and flows over the eye surface, moisten the eye and drain out through the mucus. So tear film have three component. One is mucin layer, another is aqueous layer, another outermost is lipid layer. Okay. So let's discuss one by one layer separately. Now, first of all, the innermost layer of the tear film is mucin layer or mucus layer. Okay, so it is the innermost layer and its thickness is 0.2 micrometer, and it consists of mucin which is secreted by conjunctival goblet cells and gland of Mans. Okay, now after mucin layer, I'm coming from inward to outward. Okay, so in the middle layer is aqueous layer. So aqueous layer means aqueous means what? Water. So this aqueous layer water is from lacrimal gland. Mucin layer is secreted by goblet cells. Aqueous layer is secreted by lacrimal gland. Now, another thing is that cornea needs oxygen for its nutrition, and cornea take oxygen which is dissolved in aqueous. So aqueous is very much important for corneal nutrition also. Okay, so this is aqueous layer, this is the watery layer, and the outermost layer is lipid layer. So lipid layer, it is the thinnest layer where its thickness is 0.1 micrometer, and this lipid layer is secreted from meibomian gland of Zeiss and Moll. Okay, so this lipid layer prevents the outflow of tears and also reduce the evaporation, lubricates the eyelid as they slide over the surface of the globe, and mucus layer helps tear to distribute over the ocular surface. Okay, now let's move. Now we are moving to the lacrimal drainage system. So here in this picture you can see that there is different parts of lacrimal drainage system is given. So we are going to discuss one by one. Okay, first of all, it is the panta. So what is panta, what is canaliculi, what is lacrimal sac, and what is nasolacrimal duct? We are going to discuss one by one. First of all, let's move to panta. So here you can see this, that panta is marked here, and here also you can see here there is a hole. So what is a panta? So panta is located at the medial edge or medial or nasal canthus of the lower and upper eyelid. Okay, this is a hole of its thickness. So pantum thickness is about 6 to 6.5 millimeters. So it vary according to human. Okay, so here you can see from lacrimal gland, which is inside the orbital fossa, the tear is secreted. It is coming from this area, and now the tear is distributed over the ocular surface. So for each blinking, tear is secreted, and eyelid helps the tear to get distributed over the ocular surface. And after that, this tear comes from this side, and here through this panta, tear is entering to the canaliculi. So there is also another mechanism. So tear flow along the upper and lower marginal strip to the lower panta and upper panta, and entering to the lower and upper canaliculi by a combination of capillary and suction procedure. So with each blinking, the pretarsal orbicularis and orbicularis oculi muscle compress the ampullae, shortens and compress the horizontal canaliculi, and closes and moves the panta medially, resisting reflux. So simultaneously, this contraction of the lacrimal part of the orbicularis oculi create a positive pressure that force tears down the nasolacrimal duct and into the nose. So this is mediated by helically arranged connective tissue fibers which is around the lacrimal sac. So this is panta. Now let's move to the canaliculi. So as you can see here, it is marked that the canaliculi. So from panta is the hole from which the tear is inserted, and the canaliculi is the pathway. So canaliculi is the passage by which the tear reach to the lacrimal sac. So many times these two canaliculi join together to form a common canaliculi duct. Here you can see these two canalicules are joined together to form this common canaliculi. So after this common canaliculi has been made, this is the common canaliculi. This common canaliculi joined with the lacrimal sac. Okay, so here it is not joining together, but actually these two canaliculi are joined together to form the common canaliculi. Now this canaliculi have a measurement that it is 2 millimeter vertical and 8 millimeter horizontal movement is there. Okay, so this is the measurement of canaliculi. Now let's move to the lacrimal gland, lacrimal sac. So sac means a from the word sac we can understand that something is getting stored there. So in lacrimal sac, the tear which are coming from this side from the lacrimal gland, after it passed through the canaliculi, it gets stored in the lacrimal sac, and from this lacrimal sac, the tear move to nasolacrimal duct. So lacrimal sac is the 10 to 12 millimeter long and lies in the lacrimal fossa between the anterior and posterior lacrimal crest. The lacrimal bone and the frontal process of the maxilla separate the lacrimal sac from the medial meatus of the nasal cavity, and in dacryo rohinstomy cases, that is also known as DCR, an anastomosis is created between the sac and the nasal mucosa to bypass an obstruction of the nasolacrimal duct. Now we are moving to nasolacrimal duct. So a nasolacrimal duct is about 12 to 18 millimeter long, and it is inferior continuation of the lacrimal sac. So it descends an angle slightly laterally and posteriorly to open into the inferior nasal meatus, and lateral and below the inferior turbinate. Okay, so the opening of the duct is partially covered by a mucosal fold. So from this area where nasal meatus start, so here one thing you need to remember is that tear is getting produced from the lacrimal gland, and it coming flowing through the ocular surface and coming to the panta and then canaliculi, and then common canaliculi is duct, and then lacrimal sac, and after it lacrimal sac the tear moved to the nasolacrimal duct. So in this whole passage, that means in the whole passage of the tear drainage system, here to reach this nose, tear get evaporated. So this is the ultimate destination of the tear film and ultimate condition of the tear. Okay, so when suppose you are crying very much, then you will notice that tear is flowing through your nose also, because the in crying the secretion of the tear is so much high that the evaporation is not that much sufficient to evaporate your whole tears. So some remaining tears are coming through the nose also, but actually from the nasolacrimal duct tear get evaporated. So that's all friends, thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel, and please don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you will get notification whenever I upload a new video. Okay.